Right, so here we have a question about a circle with a radius of 3 feet, an arc that is intercepted by a central angle of 2 pi over 3 radians. We want to know the length of the arc. This should automatically key in your head the arc length formula. And so the arc length formula, I'm just going to say L for length, arc length equals, and this is the formula, this is on your EOC formula sheet, so that should be really helpful. 2 pi r, guys, remember that's the circumference formula, times theta, but the key thing here is that theta has to be in degrees for this formula to work. So theta just represents the angle measure, the angle in degrees though, and all of that divided by 360. So if we want to plug in what we're given, we can plug in 2 pi times a radius of 3 times theta, but theta that we have is in radians, not in degrees. But we know how to convert it to degrees. We use our conversion factor, which to convert from radians to degrees, you multiply by 180 over pi. If we were going the other way from degrees to radians, we would multiply by pi over 180. That's that conversion factor. So cancel out the pi's, you get 2 times 180, which is 360 over 3. That gives you 120 degrees. So now we have theta, we have that angle measure in degrees that we can use for our formula. So we plug it in, all of that divided by 360. So you'll see what happens here. Notice all of your answer choices are in terms of pi. So we don't want to get rid of pi. We're not going to multiply this out in our calculator. We're just going to do it as is. Leave pi in the answer, but simplify. 360 over 360 cancels out. You're left with just 2 pi. The arc length is 2 pi feet. Here's another one, really similar. And again, we need to find the arc length, but we need to plug in the angle, and we need to convert it to degrees first. So we've got 9 pi over 5 times, and our conversion factor for radians to degrees is 180 over pi. 9 times 180, so you're going to get a pretty large number here. You'll get 1,620 divided by 5. So that gives you 324 degrees. Pretty large angle there. 324 degrees is the central angle. So now we can use that arc length formula. Arc length is equal to 2 pi r, well the radius is 26.9, times the angle in degrees, which was 324. That's your theta, all over 360. Notice it does say to use 3.14 for pi, and this is just to help with rounding errors. So do in your calculator, instead of pi, do 3.14. So 2 times 3.14 times 26.9 times 324. All of that divided by 360. And you should get about 152.038, so it rounds up to 04. And that would be in meters. So the arc length is 152.04 meters.